What's good? What is good, man? What's good? What's good, man? Y'all know what to do. Hit that like button when y'all come in here, man. Don't come in here without hitting that like button. I keep trying to tell y'all it's free. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. We gotta have a conversation, man. We gotta have a conversation, man. And that's for real. Hit the like button. Y'all know what time it is. Hit the like button when you come in here, man. Pound the like button. It is totally free. It don't cost a dime, man. Quit playing. That's for real. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit the like button. Let's get where we need to get to, because we don't have all day to discuss this topic, man. So let's hit the like button, man. And that's real. What's up from Italy? Yeah, shout out to Italy, man. Ain't no doubt. Shout out to Italy. It's 5:57 on my end. What time is it in Italy? But I tell you what, Italy, when you come in here, you got to hit the like button, man. When you come in here, you got to hit the like button. Let's go. And that's for real. Yep. So we can have a real discussion, man. It's a bad day in Georgia today, man. Wasn't a good day in Georgia, man. I know everybody heard about it, man. What's going on, LaMarca? Hey, this nigga here, Patrick Carroll. Quit playing, man. Get out of here, man. I hate to kick you out, man. At least if you gonna come in with all them jokes, at least hit the like button. If you coming over here joking, hit the like button before you leave. We crack jokes over here too. We don't do no discriminating on people cracking jokes. So if you're gonna crack some jokes, hit the like button. And that's real. We ain't doing no tripping. Yeah, we accept all jokes over here. We won't take nothing personal. That's for real. But you gotta hit the like button when you show up. Hit the like button. For anybody that's coming in the chat with jokes, hit the like. What's good? What's good, man? It's all good on my end, man. Look at my nephew say square business. That's what I say. What's good, man? For anybody that just not tapping that, hit the like button, man. What's up, AJ? Yeah, y'all hit the like button, man. Let's go, man. We got a discussion, man. It was a bad day in Georgia, man. We can't keep going through this, man. Kids can't keep going to school and this situation keep happening, man. And that's for real. But I keep trying to tell y'all that kids only portray what they hear and what they see. And that's for real. It's 1 o'clock in Italy, man. Shout out to Italy, man. What's good, Tut, man? Hit that like button, man. Y'all know what to do when y'all show up over here, man. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all. If you gonna come in here, at least hit the like button, because it's free. It don't cost a dime, man. And we gonna have a real discussion, man, because like I said, remember I was telling y'all last time about these kids that's going to school? It ain't no good look, man. It ain't no good look. It was a bad day in Georgia today. That's for real. But we know one thing. Tragedy can strike at any moment. It don't matter where you at, because nowadays, kids are not kids no more. Kids obtain information by what they see, what they hear, the majority of the time. That's for real. Ain't no doubt. What a bad day in Georgia. And that's for real, man. So condolences go out to Georgia, man, those kids that was affected by that school shooting, man. Hit the like button when you get in here, man. And most of all, let's talk about it. Leave your comments and your suggestions on about what y'all think should be done in public school nowadays. When I was going to school, or when the people in the chat was going to school, the worst thing could happen to you in school is you get in an altercation with another student. Either you whoop his ass or he whoop your ass. But not today in school. Nope. Whenever you get a 14-year-old, bring a weapon to school and unalive other students, that's a real problem, man. But like I said, kids are influenced by what they see and what they hear the majority of the time, right? And that's for real, man. Let's hit the like button, have a discussion, and most of all, share the content, man. Share the live, man. Share it. And that's for real. And Italy, for example, is very difficult to have a gun. You're right. I think the laws in the states should impose the same laws overseas. You should have the same laws here, you know, but people ain't gonna go for that. Why? Because they love their Second Amendment. They feel like they supposed to have a weapon at all times, right? Ain't no more straight up duking it out. The minute you get into an argument with somebody, they running to get the tool. They running to get the tool. So guess what? The kids see the same thing. That's why the results are the same thing. Come on, man, 14 years old? What encourages or influences a 14-year-old to take a firearm to school and unalive people? Can anybody help me with that? There's 10 people in here, and I know everybody ain't came over here just to do no trolling. Come on, man. What encourages a 14-year-old to take a firearm to school and unalive people at school when they supposed to be in a safe place? Who does that, right? Well, I'll tell you what. I will say it once again. Teenagers nowadays that's growing up in society, and it doesn't matter what color they are, it doesn't matter what nationality they are influenced by what they see around them, right? It was once, ain't no doubt. You see, and any license for a gun is very difficult to have. You can have a license on it, ain't no doubt. Oh no, they ain't doing no fighting no more. Ain't nobody putting the dukes up. The minute you get into an argument or a minor dispute with an individual, the first thing they want to do is unalive that person, right? But when most people was growing up, what happened is you duke it out and you live to see another day. Not now. These kids are influenced by what they hear and what they see, right? And the majority of the kids nowadays stay on video games. They watch a lot of video games with a lot of violence in it, right? School only been in for a month, ain't no doubt. But at the end of the day, guess what? You only take to school what you see at home, right? You only take to school on what you see at home. And it don't mean inside the home. Like I keep telling y'all, once the kids get outside the door, the big influence comes from what they see in the streets. And ain't no getting around that. Kids are influenced by the people they see in the streets or the people they see online. And that's real, man. When 14 years old, and you take a firearm to school and you got the galls to unalive people at school? Come on, man. We in a different era, man. We're in a different time, man. I keep telling y'all, that's why it is real dangerous to go to high school games where these kids are at, because all these kids are on what they call demon time. Y'all done heard it before. All these kids nowadays are on what they call demon time, right? And you will look at these kids and you'll swear that these kids are the greatest kids in the world, and I'm meaning your kid, inside of your household, but when he get outside of that house, he a whole nother person. And you got to give a ball, a strike, man. But at the end of the day, it's just the culture we living in and the times we're living in, man. Kids are real easily influenced, man. And the majority of the time, the influential people is in the household. They're in the household, man. It's no different from that kid throwing that clothes hanger, hitting that assistant principal in the eye. My nephew said, a straight maniac. Well, he or she is only a maniac because of what's in their environment, right? Now, you have a lot of kids that's unstable, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of kids that are mentally unstable and they're going through a lot. But at the end of the day, like I said, kids only portray what they hear or what they see, right? It's no different than growing up in the neighborhood and all you do as a kid is when you on your way to school, you walk by all the guys that's participating in street activity. At some time and point, that kid is gonna get curious about what's going on and he gonna wanna participate. Shout out Tanzania, hit that like button, man. You all the way overseas, man. It don't cost you nothing. Hit the like button. For anybody that just not showed up, hit the like button, man. And it was a bad day in the state of Atlanta, Georgia. That's what the discussion is. If you can't hold that discussion, I advise you to move around, because guess what? I have to kick you out, man. And if you got any jokes or you got any trolling in you, you especially got to hit the like button if you want to do some trolling. That's your pay to come over here just to troll. I'm going to ask you to hit the like button, and you can hang around and you can troll whenever you get ready. And we do accept jokes as long as they funny. I don't want no corny joke. If you can't tell no corny jokes, that's going to get you knocked out the pocket. So if you're going to tell some real jokes, shoot your shot. But anyway, let me ask you this, man. Do anybody got any suggestion about the kids that's going to school nowadays, right? I don't want to talk about no grown people, because it wasn't no grown person, or shall I say, it wasn't no immigrant that did the shooting in that school. It wasn't no convicted felon that did the shooting in that school. It was a 14-year-old kid that did that shooting. And by the way, that kid was a student of that school. The kid was a student of that particular school. So what drives a 14-year-old kid to bring a firearm to school to unalive his classmates? Can anybody tell me what drives a kid to do that? Look, man, you see what I'm saying? You've been out of school 10 years, right? You've been out of school 10 years. And when you was in school 10 years ago, they had a couple of shootings. They had shootings then, right? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, here it is, it's 2024, and kids been in school for 1 month, and a 14-year-old got up this morning and decided to take a firearm to school and unalive people at the school at 14. Your life is over with at 14. You know what I'm saying? Your life, this kid life is over with at 14. He is facing adult charges right now. What drives a 14-year-old to do this, right? That's why I always say, it doesn't matter what age you are, right? Ain't no doubt. At 14, my boy said he was playing Madden. So what I'm saying, that's why I say, right now, you got a kid right now that saw that at that school, and it's crazy because kids play these games online, right? Y'all got to remember what I said. The majority of kids in society right now are influenced by the things they hear and by the things they see. So who's to say that this particular kid, I know his first name, however, he's underage, so I'm not going to even say his name, right? I'm not going to say his name. Just know he's a 14-year-old kid, and if you want to read about it, you can go look for it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, grown folks making these kids feel like they ain't no doubt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the people that they are surrounded by that makes them feel they have the authority to go to school and do this, right? My boy say, when I was 14, only thing, the girl, ain't no doubt. But this is the kind of thing that you need to be thinking about at this age. 14 years old, can you imagine your 14-year-old son taking a firearm to school and unaliving other people at school at 14? That's why I always, once again, I take my hat off to people that are raising kids in 2024. I have to take my hat off to y'all because there's one thing about it. Y'all don't get no sleep. No sleep at all. You know what I'm saying? That's what I just said. His parents, right? Don't know who his parents is for the like of it. However, they sent this kid to school to learn, right? Not knowing that he was gonna go to school on this particular day and unalive people at the school, right? You never know. That's why I said, when kids get outside of your house, it is so much that they up against in these streets. They up against a lot. And believe me, peer pressure will do it to you every time, right? We never know. We never know what this kid was up under. We don't know. However, whatever it was, it drove him to doing what he did, you know? And we never know. Yep, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't know what kind of parents the kid got. We don't know. All I know is this, is that what 14-year-old makes his mind up to take a firearm to school and do this horrendous act against other teenagers that are in school. That don't happen. That don't happen with the influence of situations around him, right? But understand this, man. Mental health is real. And mental health don't have no age on it. You can suffer from mental health at any age, man. And that's real. You see it every day. Grown men and women, right, live with the trauma their whole life from when they was kids. And then they begin to act out when they get older, right? So mental health can strike at any time, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It don't matter if he was bullied or whatever. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no excuse for the actions. Ain't no excuse. So the thing about it, like I said, as of right now, right, he gonna be prosecuting as an adult, as a 14-year-old, right? As a 14-year-old, his whole life is over with, you know? So that was my conversation the other day. that people go through things every day, right? But don't ever think your kid is the best kid in the world. And don't ever say, my son wouldn't do this or my daughter wouldn't do this. Because in the front of you, they never gonna display that. They're not gonna display that. It's only after they get outside of your presence, right? And sometimes in most cases, man, that comes from a lack of respect from the parents, man. You know, that come from a lack of respect from their parents. So, of course, the majority of the kids gonna act accordingly when they're in your presence. But when they get outside of you, they totally different people, man. And in this case, that's what happened. This 14-year-old got outside his household and went to school this morning and committed horrendous acts on other people at the school. 14-year-old people, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So for anybody that's in the chat, if you got a 14-year-old son, don't ever say what he or she will not do. Because it's a proven fact that kids are influenced by what they see and the majority of the time what they hear, right? And we know one thing. Kids growing up nowadays, and I'm not gonna blame nothing on the people that make music, but music is influential. It will influence kids to do a lot of things, right? It would do that. Now, Scared Straight ain't gonna work, because the man that's teaching the Scared Straight class, he don't even wanna have nothing to do with the kids. Because when Scared Straight was real, kids respected the people that did the Scared Straight. But now, if you send a kid to Scared Straight class, they gonna buck the person that's doing the Scared Straight class, and once that person might come out of that door, that same kid might unalive that person. So you in a gray area. You in a real gray area when you trying to get a point across to kids nowadays, right? It's hard, man. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. And that's for real. Well, I say this, man. You say if you present, you can always tell if it's going bad. But I'm telling you, kids nowadays are more wiser than the kids back in the old school days. These kids are exposed to so much more. Take for instance, like the kids in college now. All you have to do is be an elite receiver or an elite anything in high school or college. Once you leave high school and you go to college and you are an elite player, it's an NIL deal on the table for you. Can you imagine a 16, 17-year-old with millions of dollars? That's what the world offer these kids now. They offer them things that they are not ready for before their time, man. That's just like Tuss said, they ain't afraid of no authority. No, they ain't afraid of no authority. Authority only comes into play after they did what they had to do, right? And then they want to return back to the kid status. Well, it's too late, right? It's too late, especially at the age of 14, and you take a firearm to school. I don't know what kind of firearm it was, but I know the actions that happened with the firearm, it was people that was unalived, right? To be exact, it was 4 people. So that 14-year-old, he did exactly what he was intending to do today, right? He did exactly what he was intending to do today, and it was to harm people at school. He could have did it anywhere else, but in his mind, in his adult mind, he knew one thing, that on this particular day, it was going to be a crowd of people. It was going to be a crowd of people. So he knew today that he was going to display that on all these people. And that's what he did. Who knows? Who knows what his young mind was thinking when he did his adult actions, right? In other words, what I'm saying, kids not kids no more. Kids are grown-ups. They are grown-ups in their own way. Well, I tell you this. You say he could have been on them depression meds, right? Yes and no. Yes and no, right? The point I'm trying to make is this. People just don't wake up in the morning or whatever time they wake up and say, hey, I'm going to school to do this. No. This is something that has to be thought about, you know, because you can look at a person and in your mind saying what you want to do to them. What's up, Sands? Y'all remember hit that like button when y'all show up, man. Hit the like button when you show up, man, and let's have a discussion, man. It was a bad day in Georgia, man. It was a bad day in Georgia for the kids that was at school, and it was a bad day in Georgia for the parents, man. It was a bad day, man. And like I always say, the kids in 2024 are not kids no more. That's for real. See, I'm thinking about the poor parents, ain't no doubt. You know, ain't no doubt. That's why I say, always keep in mind, man, that if you got a son or a daughter, let them have the floor sometime. In other words, what I'm saying, you have to ask questions and wait on the answer. Just don't assume that everything is okay, because sometimes that's not the case, right? So you have to ask questions and be patient enough to wait on the answer, because if not, you could have a ticking time bomb in your household and you never know it. You never know it. And whatever happened outside of your house, although you could be the greatest parent in the world, but the reflection of what happened outside of your house, it comes back to you. And we already know we live in a cruel world. So your kids' actions will be blamed on you. Remember what I said, your kids' actions will be blamed on you. So shout out to anybody, man, that's raising kids in 2024, man. It's like pulling teeth, man. You never know what teeth gonna get rotten in the middle of the race. You never know, man. That's for real. So anyway, man, once again, man, it's tough out here in these streets. It is super tough for a single parent that have to get up and go to work every day and can't govern their kid. You know, sometimes parents got to get up and go to work, man, so they leave a lot of responsibility to the kid. In other words, what I'm saying, the kid got to get dressed, and if he ride public school bus, he got to make sure he or she is right there when they pick them up in the morning for the, take them to school on the school bus. And I can only imagine the kind of language that's being used on the school bus between kids. You know, I experienced it firsthand. I went to a high school football game the other day, and I could swear that I was at a college game. The way these kids were cursing. I said, boy, look at here. If they came up around my time, that wouldn't be happening at this game, because somebody gonna say something. However, if you attempt to say something to these kids in 2024, that might be your last word. And if you notice, the kids in school right now, they not small. They not small. I sit here right now today at 6'2", 225 pounds, and you got kids in school that are bigger than me. They are kids, but they got grown men body frames. They got grown men body frames in school right now. And most adults that growing up nowadays are not big at all. They not big at all. The men that's growing up in society nowadays that are age are not big at all. The majority of men growing up now of age are slim. They just don't grow like, old school people used to grow. They don't grow like that because the food they feed now, it don't let you put that type of weight on. And most of the kids growing up nowadays, especially the one that's playing sports, these kids are huge. Take a look at them in high school. Just take a look at them. These kids are huge nowadays. And so you put the body frame with the weapon, you got a grown person. But the only thing that's separated is his age or her age, right? So it's a thin line between raising kids in society now. It's hard, man. It's hard, But what do you do? What do you do if they call you on the phone and say, hey, we got bad news. Your 14-year-old son just unalived these people at the high school. What do you do as a parent? How do you react? How do you react after seeing it so much on social media, on the news websites? What do you do as a parent if you get that call, knowing you did your best? What do you do? Besides, hey man, I did my best. That's all you can do in today's time. You can't do nothing but your best, man. So, once again, man, it's tough, man. I mean, that was the, when I left this morning, this didn't occur. But once again, things can go from 0 to 100 real quick. And the firearm that they use nowadays, 60 seconds, a lot of bullets can discharge from a weapon in 60 seconds. 1 minute. In 1 minute, can you imagine how many bullets can discharge a firearm in 1 minute? So you give that to a 14-year-old inside of a high school. It ain't gonna end well, man. And in this case, it didn't end well. It didn't end well. So condolences go out to Georgia, man, for the people that was terrified by this situation and the people that are not here no more, man. I don't know what to say about it. All I can do is have a discussion about it, All I can do is have a discussion about it, man. So you have to be careful when you even consider thinking of bringing any kind of child into this world now. It's dangerous, man. It's dangerous. Because the stuff that influences these kids are bigger than the parent. Remember what I said? The things that influence the kids in society now are bigger than any parent can be. And that kid that you raising can be an angel in your eyes. But once that door opens and he or she steps out of there, they something else when they go around the people that they interact with every day. That's something to think about, man. And this is just a conversation so the people that's listening to this can have an input on what happened today in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's real hard work growing a child and ain't no Trust me, man. Trust me, right? That's why I tell people you have to be real confident, but at the same time cautious about bringing any kind of child into this world. And it ain't because of the parents. is because of the outside influences that the world has to offer. The world has to offer a lot of outside influence with the kids in society today, you know, and that's real. It's super hard, you know, and I ain't ran into a super parent yet that can govern all of that and still try to bring a decent check into the household, whether it's man or woman, or whether it's two people in the household. I ain't met a super individual yet that can control all of that. I ain't met them yet. I'm still waiting to the day that I meet them in 2024, right? Because it's so many youth right now today that's unaliving each other, whether it's through social media beef, or whether it's just, you know, some casual to do. That's what they look at it. You know, they look at unaliving each other is just something to do. Because there's no explanation why a 14-year-old kid could possess a firearm and unalive people at school. There's no explanation for that, man. There's no explanation for that. But like I said, it's a reflection on the parent. And it doesn't mean that parent was good or bad. It's just that outside influences in the world that we live in nowadays are bigger than the parents at home. Simple as that. And it doesn't have anything to do with race, creed, or color. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Simple as that, man. Real talk. Ain't no doubt. And I 110% agree with you. Before you lay down and bring any kind of child into this world, you really have to consider the situation you're gonna be putting yourself in and the things that you're gonna be giving up. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to ask them questions, man. Shout out to Tut, man. That's why I said, man, you see what Tut said? I'm about to watch this video with my son and ask him the same question we talking about. I always know this, man, that knowledge is power, man. Knowledge is power. However, sometimes the outside influences are bigger than the conversation, man. Because we can have a conversation all day about this particular situation, and somebody that's influenced by whatever they hear or whatever they see can come back next week and do the same thing. And all people can do is ask themselves why. It's just the time that we living in, man. And the world has a lot to offer. And everything is at people's fingertips nowadays. You don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to leave your house for nothing. People will bring you everything that you want. I seen a time where you couldn't get on the phone and order groceries that'll come to your front door. I seen a time where you just couldn't get on a computer and they'll deliver a car to your house. Everything you needed, you had to go out and get it. But those times are long gone now. Everything is right at your fingertip. It's the same way that everything is right at these kids' fingertip. The same thing. So it's the outside influences that influences people to do certain things. So you got a choice, man. And the choice is yours, man. But you have to be confident and understanding what you're getting into it before you do it. And that's real. Because that 14-year-old that committed that horrendous act could be your 14-year-old. and you wouldn't have an explanation to why he did it. Because you can rest for sure, when the dust settle, people are going to be asking this particular individual parents, did they ever see that pattern? And those parents are going to have to be honest and say no. And you know why? Because they want the best for their kid. And all people can see nowadays that's raising kids is the best in the kid. Because people don't never want to quit on something they brought into the world, which is understandable. People don't want to give up, and they don't want to quit on anything that they produce and brought into society, right? But once again, I say this, man. The millennials of 2024 can recognize when things are real and when it's fake. Don't ever forget that. They can see it. They can spot it. They have a keen sense for what's real and what's fake. So you got to listen, though. You can't shut them down. You cannot shut them down. Because the minute you shut them down and they outside of your presence, that's where the influence is going to creep in at. And that's real. It's two places in society that'll raise your son or your daughter. And those two places are easy to figure out. But for those that can't figure it out, it's the streets that will raise your son or your daughter, and the streets are undefeated. And it's a prison cell that will raise your son or your daughter, which is undefeated. Those two places are good at raising your child. Don't ever forget that. And don't ever think in your mind that your son or your daughter is not capable of committing an horrendous act like that 14-year-old did today. It's tough, man. It's tough. So be real cautious about bringing anybody into society, man. If it's hard on you as an adult to make it from day to day, you can imagine how hard it's going to be when you bring that child in the world. It's going to be super hard. It's going to be super hard. But we understand one thing. Life exists on the chance, right? And you take a chance every day that you wake up to not be here tomorrow. Don't ever forget that, man. Everything you do in life exists on the chance, man. Some days are good, some days are bad. But the worst day of that 14-year-old parents is today. Their worst day was today. When they got that phone call and say, hey, your 14-year-old son did this. And whatever they was doing, they stopped. Because they knew one thing. There was nothing they could do about what he did. Because once that trigger was pulled and those people were unalived, you can't bring them back. There went those people, and there went your son. You know what I'm saying? And illy young guys take knives when they go out on the weekend. Sometimes they stab each other for no reason. That's everywhere. It don't matter where it's at. The outside influence of life, period, is what's taking control. The outside influences is what's taking control. It's the outside forces that turns people into monsters. Remember that, man. So, like I said, Yeah, we had a glitch in the action, man. We had a glitch in here, man. But I'm back. Like I said, it's the outside forces that's taking control, man. So y'all remember to do one thing for me, man, is share the live, man. Share the live. And understand this, that it's not you, it's the outside forces that interfere that makes your job hard as a parent. If it's hard for you right now, imagine how hard it's gonna be if you bring somebody in the world. It's gonna be extra hard. So until next time, man, y'all stay up and stay free, man. Salute.